Hello and welcome to French Fried Trains. It's Monday, June 24th. It's late evening, the sun is going down. This was the last train we caught that day, which didn't make it into our last video. But this train has a special treat. The lead unit is the Thomas Rice Special. This was the second train Monday evening that was special. About an hour before this, the Spirit of Western Maryland was leading a train through here. If you want to check that out, that's in our last video. This fully loaded autorack train has the Highball North. Unfortunately, with the sun going down, the lighting wasn't the greatest for shooting video, especially when the locomotive went by. You couldn't really see the details of it. And two boxcars slipped into this autorack train. This guy is definitely cruising. And an old Conrail painted autorack brings up the rear. That was the last train of Monday evening. On Tuesday during the day while out running errands, I happened to cross over the Norfolk Southern rails on Lower Carlisle Road, and what do I know, I see a headlight in the distance. So I pulled off to film it. Unfortunately, once this train started to go by, I went to set my camera on the fence post for a more stable shot, and accidentally turned the camera off without realizing it. So we only got the front part of this train. A northbound Norfolk Southern train led by a Dash 9. Now I realized my mistake in shutting off the camera right away and immediately pressed record again. However, the end of the train was already there. This train only had about 10 cars on it, so it wasn't that big a loss. I didn't go rail fanning most of the day on Tuesday because it was so hot, but in the evening I went back out. We waited about 20 minutes for our first train that night, and here it comes now. And a nice horn salute from the engineer. A southbound manifest train, led by just a single GEAC 44CW. Little bit of everything on this train. and some 8-axle flat cars bring up the rear. There's something you don't see every day. We hung around for about 20 minutes after he passed, but being as the signals were red and nothing was happening, we went home to eat supper. After supper, about an hour later, we came back out, and that was the perfect amount of time to be home for, because we waited 10 minutes and this guy was upon us. An empty CSX hopper train, led by an ES44 ACH and an AC44 CW in the old YN2 paint scheme, and he is highballing it north. This unit train is pretty uniform, with not much graffiti at all to break up the monotony of the blackness of all these cars. That was all the trains I got on Tuesday. On Wednesday evening we went back out, and we were in luck. We waited a grand total of 3 minutes before this guy was upon us, so we got there at just the right time. This train's led by an ES44 DC and an old Dash 8. And another great horn salute from the engineer. Southbound auto racks in the sunshine. All of these auto racks were completely empty. An interesting little character painted on there. It's amazing how much these auto racks rattle when they're empty. He just seemed to stretch on and on and on, but I guess when they're all empties, you can afford to make the train a little longer. Here comes the end of the train, finally. And a fully graffitied autorack brings up the end of that train. After him, we waited about a full hour before the next train arrived. It was a northbound, and here he comes. There's a nice combination of power on this train. We have a Dash 8 leading and an SD40-3 rebuild trailing. The SD43 was originally an SD40-2, built in the early 80s for the Louisville and Nashville Railway. This northbound manifest train was shorter than most that come through here. And here's the nightly empty slab flat cars packed onto this train. After he had passed, I assumed that was going to be it for the evening before dark. So I went to the gas station, and then I was going to go home. But when I left the gas station, we saw headlights coming up northbound. I barely got pulled over and got out of the car in time to record him. Another empty hopper train, led by a pair of ET44AHs. And he definitely has the highball. Look at him go. I'm glad I caught him when I did. I'm glad I was able to get out and record him on time. And I'm glad he came before the sun went down, because the sun's just about down here. Well, that's all for this episode of French Fried Trains. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And everyone have a great week.